Amiah Hargrove, class of 2024. I'm here at Christopher High School. I started playing basketball in about third grade. We had a third and fourth grade league. I played both years and I really just fell in love with it.
So about basketball, what do you enjoy so much about it?
I think just the passion and the competitiveness, but I also really like the thinking part of it, trying to figure things out, seeing different angles. I'm a big math girl, so I would say just like the mathematical side of it and the technicality of it.
Success for you in junior high, what was that like?
A lot of success. We were really good all 4 years. I was fortunate enough to get to play, at the varsity level from 5th grade to 8th grade. And we got second in state my 7th grade year, and then we won state my 8th grade year.
So the transition from junior high to high school level, what was that transition like for you?
It was relatively smooth. I had my coach my freshman and sophomore year. He was really great about, working me into the program and how things ran because I was playing with a lot of upperclassmen. But I think just adjusting to the speed of the game and the physicality, because these high school girls are a lot meaner than the grade school girls. So it was definitely just adjusting to the speed and physicality.
So when did you start varsity in high school?
My freshman year, first game.
Not a lot of freshmen started as a varsity player. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. Coach Schertz had the faith in me and thought that my ability was strong enough to be able to come in as a newcomer, not really knowing much besides what we'd gone over practice. And that was the COVID year, so things were already weird. Practice time was limited. So that the fact that he trusted me enough and trusted my ability was huge for me.
You're very athletic, Amiah. Where do you credit that to?
God. Yeah, I've been blessed with a lot of God-given ability, and my whole family's really athletic, so that helps definitely. But it all comes from God. I've been super blessed.
So the transition from freshman to now senior year, what have you learned?
Just a lot about myself, honestly, and just the mental side of the game. Freshman year, you come in, don't really know what to expect, and you just kind of, you do what you're told. You're kind of a little bit of a robot, and now I've learned to kind of think the game through and see things for myself, and my IQ has definitely grown, and my confidence has grown a lot too, so I'm pretty thankful for that. But yeah, I would say just seeing the game in court vision, definitely.
Not even on game days. How much time are you in the gym?
Well, definitely at least 2 hours for practice. Sometimes I have workouts before school, sometimes I have workouts after practice. So I would say it ranges from like 3 to 4 hours, just kind of depending on the day.
What is your workout routine?
Usually if it's before school, it's a lot of shooting stuff. Now that I've committed to Nebraska, my coaches have kind of been telling me like where they want me to be and where they want me to get better, to benefit the team when I do get to college. So it's been a lot of slot work, mid-range game, attacking the basket, extending my range out because the college line is a little bit farther than the high school line. So that's something I've really been focusing on is extending my three-point range. And then in the evenings, sometimes it's group sessions, sometimes it's with the college guys at the local community college. There it's a lot more like off the dribble stuff, just kind of being creative. That's more of just like rhythm, just get your body, get shots up, not necessarily working on specific skills, just more kind of working on my creative game.
What is the top obstacle you face when you're in the highlight of everything?
I would definitely say just living up to the standard or the pressure that you kind of put on yourself. It's both sides of it. There's pressure that you feel that people are putting on you that maybe isn't actually there. I struggled with that a lot last year. Not trusting myself enough, knowing that I could go out there and perform my best every night. So I would say definitely just the pressure and the hype, always wanting to live up to the hype. And, I have super high standards and so does everyone around me. Sometimes my standards get a little too high, for my well-being and being able to trust myself. So I would say definitely just trying to, keep cool under that pressure.
So, Amiah, you are the second best player in the state of Illinois. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It kind of shows the hard work is, paying off, but it also makes me hungrier because I want that number one spot. I want to prove to people that I should be in that number one spot. So, as much as it keeps me humble and I'm thankful for it, it gives me some more drive.
What type of shooter do you compare yourself to?
I I don't really know. That's a tough question because, like, obviously I would like to be a three-point shooter like Caitlin Clark is, but I'm not quite there yet. Working on it, though. But I would say my mid-range game is definitely kind of like my bread and butter, and I feel like that's kind of a lost art in today's basketball. So maybe like Gabby Williams, she was always one that inspired me when she was in college at UConn. Just her explosiveness and the way that she could drive to the basket. And I always have really loved her. So maybe her, or that's who I kind of model, or maybe a Nafisa Collier. Those UConn teams back then were really, really good. And I admire a lot of those girls and try to shape my game in that way.
What would you like to work on for your senior year?
Definitely my perimeter skills and my defense. I feel like defense is something that everyone can always be better at. And my perimeter skills, I want to be able to, handle the ball, come off the ball screen tough, just be really, really versatile and be really hard to guard at the next level. So that way my coaches can use me in whatever way they see fit.
You are 6'2", and that makes defenses really hard to guard you. How do you think that makes it so hard for the defense to guard you when you're so tall?
I think with my growing perimeter game, it allows me to, be able to handle the ball outside, and that way I can get to the basket. And so I'm kind of a mismatch either way. If I have a small on me, I can take him inside, and if I have a big on me, I can usually blow right by him. And so that's a big reason as to why I want to be so versatile. Is that way I'm a tough matchup for anyone.
You are one of the more humble people I've ever met, and respectful as well. What goes into that?
I think just the way I was raised, and the way that I carry myself and that I've been taught to carry myself. And I think also my faith in God, having a true faith really does keep you humble, and it keeps your eyes on the things that they need to be on. So that, and really just the way I was raised, my mom and dad, have done a great job of bringing me up. And I've realized that as I've gotten, more out into the world that, not everybody is as respectful or as kind as they need to be. And so I always just want to be a light for others and set a good example.
That super sectional game last year against Neoga at St. Anthony, what's going through your mind when that gym is filled? You cannot literally fit a single person in that gym anymore. Yeah. The atmosphere of that, but also to go to state, what was that like for you?
It was surreal, honestly. Just seeing all those people there, and we were an hour and a half away from home, and Neoga was not that far. What were they, like 15 minutes maybe? So them having their whole crowd was expected, but then us seeing that whole side of the gym filled with orange and blue just meant a lot to us, and it showed how much support there was for us, especially being a girls' sport. You don't ever hardly play in packed gyms like that, so that was huge. And just that game, and knowing there was so much on the line because we had just started or wrote our names in the history books, and then just to take it one step further and be able to make it all the way to state was unbelievable.
Security will always have priority over needs. Therefore, we are
So what was it like going to state last year and representing Christopher?
It was amazing. It was honestly the best thing ever. Definitely a highlight of my high school career. And just the group of girls that I was with, my team and our coaching staff, and just everyone as a whole, it was, nothing more than I could have asked for. And just to represent the town of Christopher was huge for us. Being the first team, girls or boys in any sport, to be able to, say we went to the state finals was huge for us. Just making that history and, being a part of that forever. Anytime people look at, the sign coming into town or these pictures or anything in the gym, they're going to know that's us and know what we did. So it's just super, super awesome.
What has been your biggest outburst of points in one game?
I believe I had 55 here against Cobden, and I had really no idea. I think we scored like 90 points total that game, so it wasn't just like I had 50 of our 60 or something like that. It was a fun game. Cobden wasn't as talented as we were last year, so we kind of going into it, we were like, okay, we're gonna have to just play hard, get this over quick, and then by halftime, my coach was kind of like, hey, you want to go for the record? And I was like, why not? So we went for it, and the Cobden coaches were great about letting me stay in, kind of break the record and stuff like that. But it was really fun and really cool to just be able to write my name in the history books.
So I know you're a senior now, but last year, what notable player did you go up against?
Elena Krause from Oakville. Elena and I have actually played AAU together for the last couple of years, and we're like best friends. So that was a fun matchup in the state championship. She's amazing, like I said, one of my best friends. So definitely Elena and probably Sydney Richards from Neoga in the super sectional. She's a phenomenal player, super good athlete. Really versatile, so I was really excited to get to play against her, and luckily we came out with a win. But she played a great game, and so did the rest of the Neoga team.
So a very intriguing matchup this year. You go to Bree Central and you play Altamont, who has great sales and just signed to Illinois State. What's it mean to you to play against another D1 talent in Grace, but also to get your level up that much more?
Yeah, it's super exciting. My coach told me, earlier last year that we were going to have that matchup, and I was super excited. I've never gotten to play against Grace, whether it was in AAU or high school, so I'm really excited to, see how good she really is, because I know she's very talented, and I can't wait to see it, firsthand and kind of battle back and forth. So pretty excited for that matchup.
What has your head coach, Hayden Carter, meant to you?
Coach Carter means a lot to me. He's one of my favorite people on this earth, honestly. We just have such a good relationship. We can bounce things off of each other, and he pushes me harder than most people do, or most people are willing to. That's something I really appreciated, and something that's allowed me to grow, not only as an athlete, but as a person. Last season, I went through, a hard time just with, the pressures and living up to standards and stuff like that. And he was right there with me, helping me the whole time. Just really encouraging me, but also pushing me, telling me that even though I can't mope, I can't be upset and all this stuff, I still have to go out, and show people who I am. So yeah, Carter, he means so much to me, and we just have such a good relationship that I'm super thankful for.
So you are now officially committed to Nebraska. What went into that decision?
A lot, honestly. Last spring, I kind of got into an issue where I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, even if I wanted to play at the, Division I level anymore. And then, I've been talking to Nebraska for quite a while, and decided to take a visit out there, and I got there, and as soon as I stepped on campus, I was like, this is what all the struggle was meant for. I went through all of that because this was the light at the end of the tunnel, and as soon as I got there, I fell in love with it immediately, with the staff and the team and the city of Lincoln itself. It was just beautiful, and I can't wait to call it home. So yeah, I'm just super thankful that I went through all of that stuff to finally get to where I'm supposed to be. I would say it wasn't super difficult having to choose Nebraska because, like I said, I went through a lot with other schools not being options anymore, and then when I did get to Nebraska, it was like, this is it, this is the clear light. But thankfully I had a lot of offers, a lot of different options on places to go, and there was nothing that really sparked my interest as much as Nebraska did, and it made it a pretty easy decision for me.
Obviously, Iowa offers you, so did Illinois at Coach Shauna Green. When you went to Iowa, meeting Caitlin Clark, as you told me you met her, what was it like meeting her?
Yeah, it was super cool. It was I fangirled a little bit, and she wasn't even at the hype level that she is now when I got to meet her. But just knowing how talented she was, and it was just super exciting because she was, turning the women's basketball game around, and just publicity that she's given to the game is phenomenal. But I got to sit down and eat lunch with her, and she's so funny and so humble and so down to earth. It was just super cool, and I'll brag about that for the rest of my life.
Not a lot of high school basketball players get to move on to the D1 level. What is the respect that you got knowing that several D1 schools are wanting you to play for their program?
Yeah, it was just a huge thank you to all the coaches that did take time to recruit me, and just knowing that they believed in me and saw that my skill that I could benefit at the Division I level, and just seeing that was super important for me, and it just showed that my hard work was paying off, because I put a lot of work into this game, and just to see it pay off like that was super cool. And I'm super fortunate to have made a lot of relationships through basketball, whether it be with coaches or girls on teams or other recruits, things like that. So I'm just super thankful for it all.
What has the recruiting process been like for you?
It was long and it was strenuous at times, but ultimately it was a huge blessing, because at the end of the day I'm getting my schooling paid for and I'm getting to do, what I love. But I think a lot of people don't understand how quickly it makes you grow up. I started the recruiting process when I was like 14. And I finished it when I was 17. I was in it for 3 years. It's like a relationship almost, it's building relationships, having tough conversations with coaches, having to tell coaches no. That was a tough thing. And like I said, it really makes you grow up quick. It's a lot of stress, having to, text these people and call these people, especially before coaches are allowed to call you, because at the beginning, and there's so many rules that I could get into that people don't, know about that goes into it. Coaches can't call you at certain times, and you can only text them, they can't text you, stuff with your family. It's a lot of things that people don't understand, and as, teenagers that are trying to navigate life and high school and things like this, it's a lot at once. But I'm super thankful for it, because like I said, I've been blessed with the opportunity to go play basketball, and pursue my major, at no cost to me or my family. So like I said, super thankful, but it's something that, you don't understand until you go through. And I think it really provides a connection between, recruits that have gone through it, because like I said, you don't get it until you go through it. So definitely super thankful for it, but there's a lot to it.
What does it mean to you to, on Saturday, you officially are signed, the weight is off your shoulder?
Yeah, it's huge for me. One of the biggest things that I wanted to do going into my senior year was to be committed, be signed, have that decision out of the way, because the recruiting process at one point was so stressful for me, and it was weighing on me a lot. So just be able to tell people like, yeah, I'm going to Nebraska. Yeah, I've got my decision made, and just start preparing, for that next step in my life. It's just amazing and a huge blessing.
How do you feel that you are ready for the college level?
I feel like I'm getting there. That's been the main focus of my workouts is, getting my body prepared for the college level, the physicality, the speed, the skill level, just constantly working on my skills so where I can be a threat anywhere on the floor when I get to Nebraska. But definitely just, trying to up my mental game and my reaction time, because like I said, things are fast in high school, but they're about 15 times faster at the college level, especially at the college level I'm going to be playing at. So really just trying to get my mind ready and be ready to, balance all the things that, college throws at you, especially as a freshman.
As a senior, and you're a leader, what challenge comes your way the most, knowing that people are keying on you and the younger kids look up to you?
I would say just, knowing that the eyes are always on you and that you have to lead by a good example. If you mess up, you can't, go act out or have a, crazy reaction, because there's constantly eyes on you, constantly people that are looking to you for guidance and for strength. But, I take that role head on, and it's a role that I've kind of always been in, but now it's just more, I think, not accepted, but more reasonable since I am a senior now. I've always been a leader since my freshman year, whether I knew it or not. But now I think it's a more accepted role for me, and just, showing my teammates that are, all pretty much underclassmen that, this is the future they could have at Christopher, coming off the year we had last year with all upperclassmen, and now coming in with a lot of inexperienced younger girls, which just trying to get them into the groove and, get them used to that varsity level as quickly as I can.
What is your goal for your senior year?
Obviously another state run, that would be great, just to win a lot of games and, to grow as a player and as a person, because like I said, this is my last year of high school. So I really just want to go out leaving a mark But also to leave the younger girls with something that they can remember. You know, I always want to be remembered as a good teammate, as a good person, as a good example. But just showing these girls, you know, what their future could look like here at Christopher, and you know, they've still got 2-3 years while this is my last year. You know, kind of leaving the torch, or passing on the torch, just showing them, you know, that we could, you know, cement ourselves in the history books as a top program. You know, like some of these area boys teams are, you know, known for their basketball teams, and we can start that here at Christopher.
What makes you such a unique person?
I would say from a personal standpoint, I'm just very calm and cool and collected, and I think that shows a lot on the floor. You know, I have a lot of people ask me, like, are you actually having fun out there? And I'm like, yeah, I just, you know, I keep my composure the whole time. You know, I don't really let things get me too rattled, because I feel like that never really goes well for anyone.
What are your goals for college?
I would say, obviously, as a whole, you know, a national championship would be great. Conference championship, you know, playing in the Big Ten, in my opinion, is the best conference for basketball, you know, men's or women's. So definitely conference championship, national championship, NCAA tournament runs all 4 years would be fantastic. But as a player, I would say freshman year, you know, go in, you know, just getting maybe newcomer of the year awards, you know, freshman of the week or stuff like that, you know, and then academic honors. You know, I'd love to be academic All-American. School's super important to me. Being an All-American just in general for my skill level, you know, being able to show people that, you know, you can be, you know, brains and a bit of a baller. So just, you know, being the best of both worlds.
Who is your biggest role model?
I would say probably my dad. You know, he was a professional athlete, you know, played in the Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl. So obviously that in itself is super inspiring. But he's also just been through the recruiting process in college and knows what I'm about to get into. So he's super helpful with that. And he just knows a lot about life in the world. You know, he's experienced a lot of things that most people don't have to. And he's, you know, just made it through everything. And it's just always been super inspiring to me. And he's so tough and so mentally tough. And he's a great example every day. So I'm super thankful to get to call him my dad.
So speaking of the family part of it, what has it been like for you having your family supporting you through this whole entire process?
Yeah, it's been huge. My family is super, super important to me. You know, all of us, I come from a pretty big family. You know, my grandparents down, there's about 15 of us, and we're all so, so close. So just constantly having them behind me, you know, and they're great about, you know, the constructive criticism. You know, if I have a game where, you know, they're going to tell me what I need to improve on, but they're also going to pat me on the back and say, hey, but you did do this, this, and this well. So that's super huge for me. But just knowing that I have my family to constantly be my support system and people I can lean on is huge.
What would you tell the young Amiah to now?
Just to trust the process. You know, it's a long road and it's a lot of work. But, you know, the light at the tunnel is there and you'll reach it someday. You know, just to keep your faith and, you know, stay humble and stay down to earth. God, for sure. Like I've said a million times, I've been blessed, you know, just in every aspect of my life. I live a super, super great life, and you know, every day I wake up and I thank God for the opportunity that He provides me. And once again, just the coaches that have, you know, taken time to recruit me, and then obviously the staff at Nebraska for, you know, accepting me as a player and as a person. But ultimately, I do want to thank God because I just want to give Him all the glory.
What would be something about you that not a lot of people know?
One, I'm a huge book nerd, and two, I love sharks. Sharks are my favorite animal.
Amiah Hargrove, 2024 Christopher High School grad, committed to playing basketball at Nebraska for the Cornhuskers. Amiah, thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking with me. We wish you the best of luck in your future career.
Thank you.